I bought an old Haybine that hasn't ran in a decade, and the plan is to fix it up, get it running, and use it on our first cutting of alfalfa this year. So this is an old Hesston 1120 Haybine that I'm going to be buying from my neighbor Mark here. I don't think they've used it in a couple years, and right now the roller crimpers in the back, I believe those don't work. There's something broken with them. It's 9-foot wide cut. You know, it's the Haybine, has the sickle bar cutter. Would be cool to fix it up this winter and get using it this summer. Would work a lot better on the alfalfa with the crimper, help it dry down a bit. And he has another one that was their parts mower. I'm taking these old mowers back to my place. This one's the parts one, so I'm not too careful about it. And we got it up on a fifth wheel deck, and that's not gonna work. So I think best bet now, take the tongue off. So then this is the good one. This one, everything is working on it besides the crimper. There's like a tension spring that snapped, broke, but the parts one still has a good one. There, that one did it. Yep.
Oh, you're underneath the dirt and I didn't see that. Oh, I
Well, it is now late May and I need to get this Haybine running. So right now it's really just a sickle mower without the crimping action, and I'm gonna want that working here when we cut this thick first cut of alfalfa. And we've gotten some crazy winds, and alfalfa is good, it's tall, it's getting to hip height on the big stuff. And we have tree line, tree line, tree line. But it's been so windy that this stuff is started to lodge itself. So it's blown over, they're starting to grow sideways into each other, getting all tangled up, and that's going to be kind of annoying. With the mower, it's just not going to cut as good, so I'm going to try and come in here and cut this as soon as possible. Looks like the leaves down here are dying off or not getting sunlight. I'm very new to alfalfa. I think we're in the bud stage, so those are little buds there and they're getting ready to flower. Ideally, I would cut this within like this week, but I don't have my mowers ready, so I need to do that first. We probably have 2 or 3 days till when I'm gonna be wanting to cut our field here, and we should have a nice weather window coming up. We got some rain last night and about 4 inches a week ago. There's some water out in that field. And then the nice part is I have a parts mower here. Same exact model, 1120 Hesston. This is the cables. There's a big bar here to adjust the tension. So that was just the cover for over the spring that holds up the top roller and lets you make adjustments. So we're gonna try and get this out without breaking anything and put it in the new one. All right, I finally got the spring detached. I couldn't get the adjustment screw to back out. It's rusted on there. So I gotta cut some metal out of the way to get this screw out. The head's in the way. Probably get this on a vise and get it to loosen because I couldn't get it. Well, there was a lot of rust on there, so we had to heat it up to get it to turn. I got it backed at like 2-3 feet. I think we're gonna need all that to get the cables on, and then and then we tighten it all down, and then it'll compress the spring, and there'll be float on the roller bars. All right, go ahead and tighten her. This is the sprocket that controls the bottom roller, the steel one. A couple teeth are broken, bent, and just super worn out. So there's a lot of slop in this sprocket. So we're gonna change it out here, loosen this chain, throw a new one in. Well, this sprocket was a bit of a fight to get off. Ended up having to pull the old torch out, heat it up. These are kept on by like a keeper key, and also I probably didn't have the right tools here. This mower's been sitting outside for I don't know how long, and then hasn't been used meaningfully in the last 5 to 6 years. So everything is a bit of a struggle to get off. And I had a wheel bearing puller here that worked pretty good, but in the end I got it off here. Here's what the new one looks like versus the old one. The old one had quite a few teeth missing and rounded off. Got the new one on and adjusted the chains, tightened them up, and now it's time to hook up, run it, and make sure we're ready to cut for tomorrow. It's the next morning now. I ran it last night. Everything seemed to run good, got all the hoses where they should be, and we're about ready to head down the road, but I want to grab a spare. This is a better tire than what's on it. So grab this off the parts machine, that way I have it. I got about a 20-mile drive. I'm gonna pull it this time, I haven't pulled it. Sun's just getting up, so we have about 20 miles. I want to try and beat the traffic here. I brought the mower back. There was no problems there, no flat tires, no bad wheel bearings, went really slow. I didn't get to do all the adjustments to the mower that I wanted to, and that's all right too, because I kind of wanted to run the mower first, see how it was cutting, see actually what needs to be adjusted. Up making a few more adjustments to the mower based on the manual settings. Oiled up the chain, made sure everything was greased up, and we're gonna see how she cuts. And my neighbor Adam stopped by to make sure everything's running right, because he grew up on sickle bar mowers. All right, first little test run here. Half of that was grass, half of this is alfalfa. So like I was saying, we had a bunch of wind damage on this crop, and it's really showing. So here's, now that we have a side view, really the plant height is something like that, which is well above waist high. I mean, this is a monster crop here. We spread manure last fall, some of them are budding. So those are like the mature ones. Then the new shoots, or the ones that are shorter, took over after the big guys fell over, which is like all this, they fell over, right? And so they're dead underneath there. That's why it looks yellow. This is my first time like mowing alfalfa, pure alfalfa, heavy crop. Last year it was oats for the first cut, and then it was a mix of oats and alfalfa, and it was not as heavy as this. So, I mean, there's a lot of material down here. This is gonna be wet and heavy. We're for sure gonna have to ted this out. And the ground is damp too. I don't think the ground is gonna dry out because of how much cover is here. It's thick. Is it crimping it or not? Let's grab a random. There's a crimp and that's what we want. So the plant's gonna dry out a lot faster when it's cracked, and that's what we need. Now for me to straddle, that's probably as wide as I can go, and we're gonna ted this out anyway, so I think it'll be fine. It'd be nice if the sun came out. That's not drying out. I mean, that is just soaking wet. We made one lap across the field, then I was cutting in the middle. The sun still hasn't came out, so things are very wet, and I want to get this cut today, and we plugged up, so that's what this is for. Now here's what the alfalfa would have looked like if we didn't get any wind. This is about belly button high. There it's flowering. I mean, this is big stuff. See, that stuff never got blown over. We've went around the field now 3 times. Unfortunately, it's still cloudy. The wind's picking up a little bit, but I mean, there is mist coming off the mower. When the wind's blowing, I can feel it like raining on me because there's so much water out here. All right, we got another plug. See, it's just all this stuff that's yellow or light in color, not dark green. That's what's laid over. I'm actually kind of impressed by the mower to handle these conditions. This is a deer path right here, I think. But, I mean, it is all just laying down. It was supposed to be sunny today, and it wasn't. I'm not too mad about it. I think it's running pretty good. I think I adjusted the mower as much as I can, and it's just field conditions now. All right, we got the 10-acre field done, and we got rained out. There's some rain just south of us. There's like a little line that came, and it rained enough. I got the tractor over to the other field, and we're stopping. Given the conditions, I'm actually pretty happy with it. The alfalfa was laying down, it was super heavy, and it was wet. And it was never gonna dry out because it was laying down. And then it would take 2 days to dry, wait to cut it, and then we'd have another rain. So in that situation, having a disc mower with a crimper is ideal. And I probably should just have that, but I kind of like messing around with the old stuff. Now it's the next day. Behind me here is a smaller field, 5 acres. This shouldn't be as laid down. It is still laid down. And then thankfully the sun is out. There's a little breeze. this here is the actual length of the alfalfa plant if it didn't get blown over. But we are getting really good crimped. So this is every time the roller crimped it here. I mean, this one plant got crimped like 15 times. There's 15 breaks in it. Because right now the ground's very wet. It hasn't rained in quite a few days, like real rain. But I'm kind of thinking today, I wish the sun was out more than it is. Dry out this ground, the tedder will flick everything on here. Seen a bunch of these toads out in the field. We didn't have any baby deer or fawns. I'd say toads and then a bunch of like adolescent pheasants. So they must have had a nest out here and then they were big enough to fly away when I came through. We didn't run any baby deer through the mower. You see things where guys are mowing along and there's a little fawn and it gets scared and it just lays down, then you run it through the mower. I actually ended up coming down here to the 5-acre little corner, got this mowed. That's where we pulled our 8-inch main, so I didn't mow that. Cut really good, never plugged. There was some thick grass, some not so thick grass, and it's still crimping it, so spun the windrow out a bit. So probably could have done that on alfalfa, but we're gonna ted it anyway. And so we're done mowing now. That was about 20 acres. Worked pretty good. I was pretty dang happy with it. There's some few things to fix with it. I looked up the serial number on this. This is a 91 or 92 year model on it. And these Hessons have a pretty good reputation. When I was doing research on just general opinions on them, people said they've been running these forever and they work really good. This actually weighs 3,500 pounds, so it's really heavy duty built. And the previous owner I bought this from bought it brand new. And so I think at one point they were running 100 or 150 acres of hay through it a year. So they got a good use out of it. And so this mower hadn't been meaningfully used in like 5 to 6 years. This was really hard to get moving. Finally, I got the zerts to start to take some grease. It's nice the hydraulic hoses don't leak, and the tips were actually the old school or the Pioneer tips, so those I didn't need an adapter, and they plugged right into my 4020. This wobble box has some play in it. It kind of sounds like a machine gun when you're going. That's a pretty easy fix. This gearbox, this is something you can't fix. That had the proper oil level. I didn't need to do anything there. The cylinder looks pretty dang new and like no scars or issues there. And this was the sprocket that we replaced. So it had like a key system in there. I did not have the right tools to take that off, and that was a pain in the butt. And then the shields on the side, I have those on the other side. I'll probably always leave this one off, but this side I should always have the shield on because hay flies and gets caught in this pulley and then the pulley can slip. So I just had it off because we were plugging, and this is where you put your wrench on and you can reverse everything out. And then this is really easy adjustment here. All you do is pull this rod. This is to make the windrow as wide as possible. It knocks the hay down when it comes out of the roller. And then if you lift it all the way up, this will be as narrow. So the hay comes through the roller, shoots back, and that trap door can either deflect it down so it never touches our, I don't know what you call it, our little chamber here. And right now, the position I have, all the hay would make it back and hit these shields, and then it would be as narrow as you could get it. This spring here needs replaced. I have a new spring for that. I just didn't get around to it. That just keeps the pressure of the whole unit off in case you get into a rough spot. There's a little storage compartment for sickle sections you can throw in there. This is where we were rubbing at one point. The reel is in pretty rough shape. It's rusted, and like I said, this mower sat outside for a lot of years. And we actually jumped out of this channel, so this like slid over. I need to get this thing cleaned up because we had some pretty wet hay there. And on forums, a lot of guys were saying that these old style rollers with the steel pointed on the bottom, rubber on top, are better than the new ones in terms of crimping. And I was super impressed by how well it crimped in our really, really wet and thick conditions. Every plant I pulled up was crimped every 2 to 3 inches. And so this was a pretty cool project. I think I'll keep this mower around for a while, use it, tune it up, and get it just right here for second cut in about 40 days. So thanks for watching the video. Hopefully we can make some round bales here soon. We got rain coming up in a few days, so we want to get everything baled and off the field before then.